if you're not sleeping, you're probably not going to perform well. And if you're not sleeping, you're probably not going to eat well. So I think it is overwhelming, and that's why we call it that bitch face, because there's just so many questions and there's so many things that you're not used to doing. And I don't think that people realize how many aspects of life play into, weight loss, muscle gain, whatever the end goal is.
And welcome to another episode of Reno's Rants here on the Roughnecks Podcast. Make sure to stay up to date with everything we got going on by signing up for the newsletter that is on roughneckspodcast.com. Sign up for that, stay up to date, and hey, while you're there, go ahead and support us. Grab some merch while it's there. We got a lot of cool stuff, from t-shirts to mugs to flags to pretty much anything that you can think of. And I tell you what, use promo code Reno and get yourself 10% off. All right, let's dive into today's rant. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it. Hey, welcome to Reno's Rants here on the Roughnecks Podcast. On today's episode, I have my lovely wife, Brittnee, here with me. We were just discussing beforehand just kind of what we were going to talk about, and like the intro part here. I was like, all right, so we're going to start it off like this, and sort of as the intro, Brittnee, if you guys don't know, is a bikini competitor, bodybuilding, and she's going to do a national show next year. And I was like, we hope that she's hopefully going to get her pro card. And she's like, no, I'm not hopefully going to get it. I am going to get it, damn it. Because you are.
I mean, I am, but
But anyway, on today's episode, we were talking about our clients, and this kind of just sparked up an idea, and a good thought to have, because I think it's the hardest part about doing something new, and especially with us joining us and doing, the workout side of it, the nutrition side of it. Like it's new. You can be a little nervous about it. That beginning stages, you're not really sure how to handle sort of your new day-to-day, because that's really what it is. It's not just that you're going to the gym now. It's not that you're just eating a little bit healthier now. It's like we preach a total lifestyle change, like, because it has to be. If you don't have, if you're not prioritizing the lifestyle change, this isn't going to work. It's going to be extremely temporary if you're just like, I'm just going to start kind of working out, instead of saying, hey, I gotta sleep more, and I gotta take my vitamins more. I gotta drink more water. I have to consistently work out. I have to consistently eat better. I think it's very overwhelming, I think, for people to grasp, and I get it. Like, I do. I understand. There's not a lot of people think that it's going to be that, hard at first, and it is hard. We're not saying that it's going to be easy at all.
Yeah, I think that, when people see the results that some of our clients have had, and then reach out to us and want training programs and want coaching from us, and then we start throwing all these things in there, like Reno mentioned, if you're not sleeping, you're probably not going to perform well. And if you're not sleeping, you're probably not going to eat well. So I think it is overwhelming, and that's why we call it that bitch face, because there's just so many questions and there's so many things that you're not used to doing. And I don't think that people realize how many aspects of life play into, weight loss, muscle gain, whatever the end goal is. But, if you're making it a priority, like I said, within that first month, we can kind of tell like who's in it and who's kind of like fading out, like they didn't really expect this kind of responsibility to come with, the coaching that we offer.
Yeah, and we get people kind of like they're looking for that magic pill, or that magic sort of, I don't even know. They're looking for the magic for it to just happen. And it's like, no, this is going to be hard. Like this is not like, yeah, we're going to make it as enjoyable for you as possible. We want it to be enjoyable. And eventually, like, it will be, once you get past that that bitch face that Britt said. Like it is. There is that little phase where you start coming up with excuses there at the beginning. Oh man, this is a lot. Oh, I can't eat this much anymore. Oh, you mean I got to go work out and then come home and then deal with, like, it's like I was saying earlier, it's a lifestyle change. You have to mentally prepare for it.
Yeah. Once you get past those things and you kind of figure out how to meal prep, how to prepare for, going out places like work, once you make it your lifestyle, I feel like it's not even considered a hassle anymore, or, some big thing that you have to do. You're able to more go with the flow.
Yeah. And then once it becomes a lifestyle, you kind of realize, if you start doing like some of the old habits, how bad you feel by doing it. And you're like, and you kind of have a realization that, like, whoa, I was doing that the whole time. Like, no wonder I was feeling like shit for so long, or no wonder I was a little bit more upset, or no wonder I wasn't sleeping as much. There's just things that you figure out about it too. But that phase, that beginning phase, I think is really what we want to call out, because, and this isn't just for fitness, this is for everything. If you're starting a new business, if you're, starting a new job, getting a new promotion, going on a diet, whatever it may be, those first couple weeks, those first couple months, depending on what it is, that's not necessarily the fun part.
I mean, you may have to cut out a little bit of extra time, especially as Reno mentioned, like if you're, starting a new diet, you might have to take time out to meal plan. If you're starting a new business, you're going to have to take time to, prep your social media, like Cole, you editing these recordings, stuff like that. So you're going to have to expect that things might take a little bit longer in the beginning.
Yeah. And there's a lot of trial and error that goes into this. Like, you're trying to meal prep your food. Oh, I didn't have enough protein like today. Okay, well, tomorrow I got to make sure I add a little bit extra of this, or I have to reduce some of this because I was too high on that. There's so much trial and error that you're going to get frustrated with it. It's natural. You're going to get frustrated, but once you get into that flow, once you get into that rhythm, you kind of feel yourself just take a big, like, deep breath, and you relax, and now it becomes second nature. It becomes those habits that you establish, and you don't really look back on them either. They're just part of your everyday norm. So getting through those first couple weeks, that first month, it's so important to keep chugging along. Like they say for small businesses, like they tend to fail within the first 2 years. Like you make it 2 years and then you just drop off. And then it's those who make it to that 2 year point. They're feeling the pressure, they're feeling the hurt, and then they keep going forward with it, is when the success rates then skyrocket. Then it's going to be sustainable. And that's the same thing with fitness. That's the same thing with trying to just have a healthier lifestyle. You have, when it gets really hard, that whole adversity talk, that's when you truly have to turn it into another gear, and you have to do it.
I read a quote today that said, you don't thrive in your comfort zone. Everything that you want is outside of that comfort zone. And the people on top don't get there by accident. So you have to pay the price and get the reward.
And like, so many things sound so cliche. I know, like I'll see stuff all over social media, or hear people talk about it in their little ceremonies and their TED Talks or whatever. But what's kind of funny is it's pretty true that if you actually do it, like you hear them say it, like, oh, well, you got to be consistent. It's like, oh, yeah. Everybody says that. But like, have you tried to be consistent with something? Like, have you tried it, and have you seen the results that it's going to bring you? Like, take it for what it is. Like, actually listen to the words and hear the words and digest what the words are saying and what the output of that is that you have to give. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised on what you can do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the simple things that will take you far, like being consistent, just showing up even if you're tired, showing up on your really bad days, showing up on your really good days, and
Yeah, and keep moving forward. But yeah, so that's really what we wanted to touch. Look, the first couple weeks, the first start's going to be different. Like, it's exciting too. Like, let's not forget about the exciting part. And you're going to be nervous, but my challenge, I guess, to everybody, and our challenge to everybody, is that nervous feeling that you get when you're unsure. You're going into an uncomfortable space. Turn that nervous feeling into excitement. Nervous and excitement, the emotional feeling that you have with both are very, very similar. But if you can change those nerves and change, being a little bit scared to, man, I'm excited about this, instead of, man, I'm really nervous about this. Going at it with a positive attitude will hopefully provide positive results, right? All right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for listening. As always, thanks for all the support on the Roughnecks podcast. If you have not gone back and listened to don't. If you have not come back and listened to the Hold My Beer episode that Cole, Dante, and I had the other night, you've got to listen to that thing. We're a bunch of idiots. I'll just tell you that. But we also talked about a lot of really good stuff, a lot of relatable stuff. It's not like I'll go out and listen to podcasts from like famous people. It's hard to relate to famous people, honestly, because like they're kind of famous and they're living a whole different lifestyle. We're not famous. At the end of the day, you've got to just push yourself through that shitty part, that bitch phase. Like, when you hear your little bitch voice coming out, shut it up and keep moving forward. It's going to work out. Trust the process, trust everything that you're doing. And at the end of the day, give effort. Effort is free. Only you can control your effort. Until next time, see you. Hey, thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Reno's Rants here on the Roughnecks podcast. Make sure to share, like, follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. And if you have topics that you want us to cover, make sure to get those to us. You can either email us at roughneckspodcast@gmail.com, or you can just simply message us on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever you feel like doing. We will be sure to cover that. Really appreciate all the support you guys are giving us. Until next time.